Welcome to Shifted Babe, the show where healing, growth, and transformation begin. I'm Laurina Anderson, the energy shifter. With over 30 years in the field of psychology, I've helped people break through limiting beliefs, heal emotional blocks, and step into the life they were meant to live. Each episode brings inspiring guests, powerful conversations, and real tools to help you elevate your mindset, energy, relationships, health, and your purpose. If you're ready to grow, heal, and shift your life from the inside out, you're in the right place. This is Shifted Babe. Hi, welcome. I'm Laurina Anderson, known as the Energy Shifter, and I am thrilled to have you here today. Thank you for joining us, and please, you'll find me on YouTube, Shifted Babe. Please like, subscribe. I would love to continue giving you the most amazing insights into some of the guests that I have, as they have really been the experts and the authorities in their field. And it has been my pleasure to help them as well with my program, with my coaching, life and energy coaching. So today I have a very exciting guest who's on, and I'm going to read the bio because I didn't memorize it. However, Sheikh Ali is a former medical student turned entrepreneur and national speaker. Yeah, he just came back from Chicago. Absolutely amazing. He helps clinicians and healthcare executives build authority on LinkedIn through personal branding, strategic networking, and content that attracts real opportunities. And I don't know about you, but that happens to be my go-to now is LinkedIn. So it's really, really essential what this gentleman offers and how he offers it as well. He believes that the right people can't hire you, partner with you, or refer you if they can't find you online. You know, he's got this great little tagline. It says, "No post, you become a ghost." Or, "Don't become a ghost, make sure you post." So I'd like to welcome Sheikh C. Ali.
Thank you so much, Laurina. I am so honored to be here, and thank you so much for that wonderful introduction and the invite to be here. I'm looking forward to having a chat with you.
It's my pleasure, by all means. You have been one of the individuals that I have really connected with, first on LinkedIn.
That's right.
But then after that, it's one of our friends from 6 Degrees Golf.
Yes, Rich Rogers. Shout out to Rich.
Yes, shout out to Rich Rogers, and who had brought us together. And the two of them, I was told by Rich, "You got to meet Sheikh. You got to meet Sheikh." So I meet Sheikh. You know what he says? Like milkshake. Shake
right.
like milkshake.
That's right. That way nobody mispronounces it.
Yes, that's true. Well, and I kind of have that same thing. Laurina, people go, "Huh?" So I say, yeah, Laurina. It rhymes with ballerina.
Exactly.
So it's great to have you. I mean, I've watched you on LinkedIn, and I've watched your audience grow and grow and grow, and it is impressive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely impressive.
Lots of hard work and a positive attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Positive energy.
Yes, that's right.
You know, and that's what Rich Rogers was saying. He says, "Oh no, you got to meet Sheikh. He's another light worker." And I went, "Well, of course I have to meet him then," you know? And just so you understand what a light worker is, it's somebody who holds this radiance about them and that shares from their heart and impacts people in a really positive way. So that's what Sheikh is, what he does, how he connects with people. And so I had to have him on the show. I had to share him with everybody, you know, without a doubt.
Yes, and thank you again. And I'm excited to talk with you about my business and, most importantly, how people can really take their LinkedIn to the next level, and also the mindset that's required behind that to appear as your best self on LinkedIn.
Wow. Tell me more, please.
Okay, so let's kind of go to my origin story.
Yes.
Let's start from there. So when I was 7, I wanted to be a private practice surgeon. I know, very specific. Private practice because I come from a family of entrepreneurs. And so that model of medicine appealed the most to me. And then surgery because I was always obsessed with anatomy. Ever since I was a little kid, always loved anatomy. Fast forward 20 years, undergrad, medical school, and then between third and fourth year of medical school, that's when COVID happened. And that really changed the landscape in terms of how medicine was practiced. And what we saw was that a lot of private equity and big hospital groups were buying out the private practices. So for the young and upcoming physicians who are now about to enter residency and then eventually finish residency after a few years, I noticed that that wasn't really a viable model anymore. So that's when I decided to shift. That's when I decided to shift my focus to entrepreneurship. And during that time of COVID, the healthcare field had experienced a surge of social media. Social media was becoming much more popular during COVID. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, because everybody was at home. They couldn't do anything other than social media, especially if they wanted to continue in their business, whatever that might have been.
Exactly. And so what happened a lot is people were shifting their marketing strategy from more in-person to virtual. And then when I started the business, January of 2023 was when I started the business. I decided to do Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn for healthcare professionals because I came from that world. I know that world the best. And most importantly, Laurina, I would be able to provide maximum value to that particular audience. Then fast forward 1 year, January of 2024, and that's when I decided to go all in on LinkedIn. I like LinkedIn because LinkedIn is the biggest business-to-business networking site on the internet with over 1.3 billion users.
Wow.
And I also like that LinkedIn, the audience on LinkedIn, they tend to be more established in their careers. And so I knew that that was really where my strengths lie with that particular target audience. Also, LinkedIn is more writing focused as opposed to Instagram and TikTok, which are more video focused.
That's true.
And for me, I'm a writer at heart. Hence the speaking, because good writers make good speakers. And so LinkedIn and my strengths and matching that up, it just appealed more to me. And then October of 2024, so approximately 9-10 months after I made that decision to go all in on LinkedIn, I worked with a coach. And I'm a big fan of working with coaches because it really allows you to fast track your knowledge.
Well, the other thing too, I don't know of any top athlete who doesn't have at least 5 coaches at one time.
Exactly.
You know, so that's one of the things I, speak to people about. I'm like, hello. I mean, how much faster do you want to attain your goals, your dreams, your desires?
Exactly.
Hire me. Hire a coach. And especially me, because I know all about energy.
And the other thing too, no problem. And then the other thing too about coaches is they give you a unique perspective that you may not necessarily have. So they force you to look at something from a different angle. And so when I worked with that coach, October of 2024, he said, if you want to focus in on LinkedIn, you need to work with people who are what we call clinician executives. And I'm gonna define that term. So basically, a clinician is any healthcare professional who sees patients. They could be a nurse, they could be a physician, they could be also a physician associate, they could be a physical therapist, any healthcare professional that sees patients, but is also in some sort of leadership role. So either they are aspiring to the C-suite, they're already in the C-suite, or they might even just have their own consulting business that might be, it could be clinical or it could also be non-clinical. And so really helping build out the brand of those audiences on LinkedIn is what I am able to do for my clients. And the growth, as you said, has been phenomenal.
It's been amazing.
It's been one, and
it's really amazing.
I still have to pinch myself in terms of how much traction I've been able to see, especially since we met approximately over a year ago at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been just.
We just had lunch at our first year anniversary.
That's right. Yeah, our friendversary. Yeah, that's right. So it's just been so wonderful to see the community build and the following. But again, for me, it's all about making an impact, because that's really what I focus on, whether it's in my one-on-one client engagements or whether I'm on the stage speaking in front of a national audience.
Yeah.
For me, really having that impact is more important to me than necessarily the celebrity or the fact that I'm influencing or things of that nature. It's more about having that impact and being able to provide maximum value for that audience.
Brand strategist. And I've got to tell you that he is really a professional, expert, and an authority.
Yes.
And we just had this discussion, as a matter of fact, on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
because,
yesterday. Yep.
Because one of the things that LinkedIn loves is when you have a conversation. When you keep a conversation going. So Sheikh and I, we have kind of made an agreement that I continue keeping conversation with him. He continues the conversation with me. And that's how we build our our authority, not our celebrity,
Right.
which you had said yesterday. You know, many times if you're building celebrity, you're coming from the space of ego.
Right.
You know, and all you're doing is counting how many followers you have, how many likes you have, how many shares. But when you are an authority and you are sharing knowledge, information, insights, and then your audience begins to build. That's built on a solid foundation.
Right.
You know, when you build anything on ego, it is shaky and it never lasts.
Right, exactly. And building that authority is also credibility too.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why it's been so fascinating to see my journey, because when I started the business, I actually manifested being on the stage. I always wanted to be on the stage and I always wanted to speak, because before I started the business, I had been speaking for about 20 years prior. And so speaking, I'm very blessed in that it comes very naturally to me, but I also work on it and I practice. Even up until this podcast, I was rehearsing a few points in my head to be able to articulate. But I manifested that in my head that I was going to do it. I knew it would take time, but I think that the two most important things for any business owners or anybody who's listening out there, focus and patience. If you can have those two things,
yes.
you will be successful. It's just understanding that the process takes time. And then the focus aspect, Laurina, is the ability to say no. Because I have said no many more times than I have said yes. Wow. And that has been a really big secret in terms of how I've been able to, I don't like to use the word fast track because I think everyone's on their own journey, but that's how I've been able to really be focused and intentional with my goals and being able to go after it.
Yes. And you know, something I tell everybody, I said no is a full sentence.
That's right.
You know, and either it fits or it doesn't fit.
That's right.
And the distinction there is that that's more of a discernment, because you're identifying whether or not this fits with you. Does it feel good? Does it feel supported? Do you feel lasting forward movement? And then you get to respond. And the response is either yes or no, but you're not making anybody wrong. Whereas if you're judging, which is the other side of the lack of limitation, limiting beliefs, that type of thing, with that judgment comes reaction.
That's right.
Because your self-defense mechanisms kick in, and it's like, what? Wait a minute, though. You know, the only problem is that when you're judging and you're pointing fingers, you know, how many are coming back at you?
Yep, exactly.
You know, but you're doing discernment, and that's such an amazing distinction. But that also proves, at least for me, that you're the light worker. You know,
that.
and you're shining that light,
Yeah.
and you're helping the people that fit into this particular realm that you're creating, and it's astounding the amount of connection that you're making. But you also have, I'm gonna pull you out here.
Yeah.
You also have a special connection with your LinkedIn
community.
community.
Yeah. Yes.
Please share with that.
Yes. So basically, I mean, my connection with the LinkedIn community just started by knowing who my target audience is. So we come back to that discernment that you were talking about. And it's very interesting because when I have a prospective client or anybody that I'm speaking to, the first advice about how do I grow on LinkedIn is to know your target audience. Identify that ICP, which is the ideal customer profile, like what we learn in business school.
Say that one more time so they get
yes,
it.
the
ICP.
So that's the ideal customer profile. And so that is the makeup of the person that you eventually want to work with. So for me, because of my background in healthcare, it was instrumental that I really honed in on that clinician and healthcare executive crowd. However, there are other valuable people in your network that I call the INP. This is the ideal network profile. So for example, you would be a fantastic example, or Rich would be a fantastic example of people that are in the ideal network profile, because people like you are 1 degree of separation away from my ICP, from my ideal customer profile. And so making sure that you continue to build those relationships and come from a place of curiosity rather than judgment. I think if you do that, then that has been really the big shifter, or that has really been the secret, if you will, to really connecting and networking with people both in person and also virtual. Now, building that community on LinkedIn, it's just knowing who your target audience is and presenting information in a way that they would find valuable. Yes. Because it's not really, it goes back to the idea that Rich taught me, which is to be a go-giver. and to come from a place of service rather than selling.
Well, I totally agree. And you know, I teach a lot of my clients. The most important question ever, how can I help?
Yes.
How can I help you? Because you're not there to, if you're there to sell somebody, they're going to feel it in a heartbeat and they'll be gone.
Yep.
Right? And they will not trust you. They will not believe you. And you know, you were talking mindset.
Yes.
You know, this one of the most important things is that you're there to help them, to be of service, to, you know, troubleshoot, to problem solve. And you're not there just to sell. Because if you are, I find that it's pretty much a dead end.
Yes, and I think that with what's happening now with the digital realm, people are becoming more mistrusting of others because of the digital realm. And so I think it's very important that there is congruency between how you are in person and who you appear as compared to your online LinkedIn presence. And one of the joys of my job, and in terms of what I do, is I'm able to work with these clinician leaders or healthcare executives so that they can show up as their best selves on LinkedIn, and so that it's representative of the person who I speak to on that Zoom call, because I work with people from all over the country.
You know, and there's another really important thing that he does with those networking people that's really, really important. However, what we're going to do is that we're going to take a small commercial break, because I want you to come back and I want you to understand how this LinkedIn has worked and how it can work for your own benefit as well. So we will be right back. Don't leave, and we got more to come.
Yes, see you there.
Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, something keeps holding you back? I'm Laurina Anderson, MSW, founder of LA Coaching and known as the Energy Shifter. For more than 30 years, I've helped people transform stress, trauma, loss, and self-doubt into confidence, clarity, and purpose. My approach is different. I teach you how to access and accelerate your internal energy, regulate your nervous system, reconnect with your intuition, and release the emotional patterns that keep you stuck. When your energy shifts, everything begins to change. Your mindset, your relationships, your health and wealth, your career, and the way you experience life. Whether you're rebuilding after loss, striving for greater success, or simply ready to become the person you were meant to be, lasting transformation is possible. Your greatest power has always been within you. So let's unlock it together. Visit ishiftyourenergy.com to schedule your complimentary consultation. Because when you shift your energy, everything changes.
Welcome back to Shift It, Babe, the show where we elevate our energy, expand our awareness, and reconnect with the highest power within and around us.
Hi, welcome back. Laurina Anderson, the Energy Shifter. You know, I teach you all about your energy field, how to access it, activate it, and accelerate it, so that you can be at your maximum potential, creating your goals, your dreams, and your desires. Thanks for coming back with us. Now, I really want to highlight something that is so unique about Sheikh. Because we've lost it. You know, I'm an old school sales person. They used to call me a woman salesman way back when, because I was in selling since I was in my early 30s, and now being 71, you know, things have changed so much. But one of the things that we have lost is the ability of face-to-face, you know, really connecting with somebody that you're speaking to, that you see their facial expressions, you feel their energy, you're connecting with them at a soul level, just not through digital, not through a Zoom, not through a WhatsApp, but you're meeting them one-on-one and sharing with them. And it's so important, and that's one of the things that I love about Sheikh's ability of being able to bring that back. So please, I won't give away everything, but please share this particular technique that you use.
Yes, so the LinkedIn IRL series, so IRL stands for in real life, It's an acronym that's used by people in the world of social media. And the idea is that you take a relationship that you have built digitally in person. The LinkedIn IRL series actually started April of 2025 with somebody who was located about 15 or 20 minutes away from where I was. And so I had proposed to her, I had said, listen, let's just go out to lunch and let's have a conversation. And so we had a conversation, and then we took a picture, and then I posted about her on LinkedIn, and I just gave a little description of who she was, what she did, what she stood for. And that gained so much traction on LinkedIn that it was mind-blowing to me. I was getting between 3 to 5 times the amount of traction just for that one post than I did for all of my other posts that were more ICP, ideal customer profile focused. And so what I decided to do is just listen to the market, and I kept doing it.
Yeah.
And so I just finished, Laurina mentioned at the top of the hour, I was in Chicago. I just finished my 80th IRL, LinkedIn IRL meeting with somebody, and I'm looking forward to highlighting many people because I'm backlogged now because I've been doing it so much. But it has really become such a great way to build intentional relationships.
Yes.
And also it is, and you pointed this out and to me, Laurina, and it really blew my mind. You said that I'm doing a great job of blending the old and the new, which is like the more traditional way of networking in person with a more digital approach using LinkedIn. And what I have also found with the IRL series, because we have been able to build that trust on LinkedIn first, the actual in-person meeting is not as awkward as going to an in-person networking event and seeing this person for the first time, because that know, like, and trust has been built over a few months or sometimes even a few years. Recently, I met with somebody in person at the beginning of this month, so about 2-3 weeks before this recording, and I hadn't seen her, and I've never met her before, and I had known her for 3 years because she lives in Italy.
Wow.
But she was visiting.
You're going international.
Yes,
I love it.
yes, but she was
Perfect.
visiting this area, and so we decided to meet in person. And so that has really been meaningful. I get way more traction on that series than any other content that I post, and I think it's because, and COVID really taught us this, like we really crave that human connection.
Yes.
And the ability to share that energy field when you're meeting with somebody in person or IRL is very different. And I will say most of my in real life posts and series are on a one-on-one basis. And my introverts even open up to me and they start chatting up a storm.
Yes.
And so it's been a great way. And the two things that the IRL series have taught me, number one, how to take a good photo. And Laurina has also given me some tips about that too, how to take a good photo. But the second thing that the IRL series has taught me, which I didn't even expect, is how to be a good listener. Because I know that I'm going to have to summarize their story and basically write a little biography about them and highlight them, shine that light on them professionally. And so it has really taught me to be a good listener and to listen very carefully to what they're saying and be intentional about it. So it's been wonderful, and it has actually become a national movement. because now I have prospective clients, current clients, and alumni clients, people who have worked with me, who are now doing their own IRLs outside. So I've gotten photos from Los Angeles,
I love it.
from Nebraska, from Texas, from Arizona, and even from the DC, Virginia, Maryland area as well. So literally,
And pretty soon Chicago too.
Yes, hopefully.
My hometown.
Yes, pretty soon Chicago. So I was actually just in Chicago, and I did a few. So I did some over there, over some nice deep dish, might I add.
Oh yeah.
And it was very lovely. But yes, so thank you for highlighting that IRL series. So every Thursday on LinkedIn is the
Look for
IRL
'em.
series.
Well,
just look for it.
Tell our audience how they can get a hold of you, how they can find you.
Well, the best way to reach me based on this conversation is on LinkedIn, obviously. And so you search my name, Sheikh C. Make sure you put my middle initial because there are other Sheikh Alis on LinkedIn. Sheikh C Ali. Look me up on LinkedIn. Also, if you spell my name correctly and you put the C on the Google search, my LinkedIn profile will be the first thing that comes up. So either way is the best way to reach out to me. And make sure that you tell me you saw me on this show and that Laurina sent you.
Yes, please, absolutely, yes, because I want to highlight you.
Yes, of course.
He's spectacular, and we were just like laughing. I have been one of his wonderful guests on LinkedIn twice.
Yes, that's
and
right.
I have got to tell you, I get so much. So many people reaching out to me after that.
Good.
And I love it.
That's why I do it, because the whole goal is to shine the light on that person so that it will open up my network to that person and highlight that person, because I'm very blessed in that I actually have many different groups within my LinkedIn community. And so it's fantastic to see that cross-pollination and see how by highlighting them on the IRL series, it allows them to be introduced to people that they wouldn't have even known if it weren't for this platform.
Yes, yes. Talk to me a little bit more about, you were talking about the 4 Ps.
Yes.
Please share that with
Yes,
me.
so there are 4 Ps. There are 4 Ps of LinkedIn visibility, and I know that time doesn't allow me to really elaborate. But number 1 is position. So that is knowing who your target audience is. That's the strategy layer, like what we were talking about at the beginning. Number 2 is polish. So that's making sure that your profile is optimized and aligns with your values and with your target, and is targeting that target audience. Number 3 is publish. So that's the content piece of the equation. That's actually publishing that content and making sure that it's a value add, rather than just saying, look at me, but rather talking about how it's going to appeal to your audience and what value you're providing to them. And then number 4 is pursue. So that is the actual outreach component of your LinkedIn strategy. And so in working with me, all my clients go through that 4-step process. And as a result of that, it allows them to take their LinkedIn presence from 0 to hero. And even more importantly than that, they feel comfortable in their best selves, and they develop that mindset to grow and to be abundant in their LinkedIn
Well, they're
presence.
seeing the value of it.
Yes.
Because something, so often they get stuck in their own little world, and they just continue, day in, day out, it's routine. And they know something is different, something is happening, that there's some level of something that they cannot grasp. But they also know that they're not getting their message out there, and it's so important, especially for some of these really amazing professionals that are out there, and nobody knows about them.
Yes, and that's why I say if you don't post, you're a ghost. Because if you don't post, you are a ghost, in the sense that people are not going to know who you are and what you stand for. And the last thing I want to say about that is opportunities are not given, they are created. And the only way to create those opportunities, especially in the 21st century, is to be visible online and to have that robust online presence. And in the business to business world, because I know there are a lot of high-level executives that watch this show, LinkedIn is really the best avenue to do that. And that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Yes, and he's very passionate. He's very passionate. But he's also an absolute authority. He's gone through all the training and everything, and he knows how to build your brand and how to make it #1 out there on Google and LinkedIn, and really start, creating a following for his clients or for you.
Yes.
Please, by all means. I'm going to ask you again how people get a hold of you.
Yes,
please.
So the best way to reach out to me, Sheikh C, Sheikh, middle initial C, last name Ali. Just look me up on LinkedIn. Anybody who is on LinkedIn, even if you're not connected with me, you can still send me an inbound message and say that you saw me on Laurina's show, and I'd be more than happy to have a conversation and connect with you. So thank you again for this opportunity.
Oh, it's my pleasure. By all means. I've been so excited to have him here, because we really have created such an amazing community, and he's been very beneficial in with my posts and everything, and making comments and creating conversations, and then his community starts talking with me as well.
That's right.
It's one big happy family, honey.
Circle of life. Circle of life.
Big happy family.
Yeah.
So thank you again for coming. It has been an absolute pleasure. And you can always get a hold of me as well. You can contact me at my office, 954-647-5525. Leave me a message. I can put you in touch with Sheikh. I'll give him LinkedIn, I'll give them Instagram, I'll give them Facebook, I'll give you everything. Just let me know how you'd like to get a hold of them. Or you can also email me at la@ishiftyourenergy.com. Go to my website. I was already told don't use www anymore. It's a waste of time. So you can go on my website, ishiftyourenergy.com. And we look forward to hearing from you. Please, if you have any questions whatsoever, if you have comments, please just, let me know. Email me, get a hold of me, leave me a message at my office. I would love to answer anything that you might have questions about, anything that you might need to be working on, if you're stuck, if you're not quite having the ability of making the proper decisions or you're not trusting your decisions, give me a call. I would love to work with you. So Sheikh again. Sheikh, milkshake, I love it. Sheikh, thank you so much for being here, for being a part of my show. This is number 4.
Wow.
Yes,
Very honored.
I'm very excited, and we're.
So that means I'm in the top 5.
Oh my God, yes. Absolutely,
right.
I love it.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, thank you again, Lorena, and
thank
maybe
you.
we'll do a round 2.
Maybe, for sure.
Let's manifest it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay.
thanks, everybody. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
watching, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Remember, transformation happens one shift at a time. So stay connected to yourself, protect your energy, and trust your inner knowing. And babe, when your shift isn't shifting and life's hitting the fan, call